Marisa with BeCozi.com is here. BeCozi.com is an American website. We are promoting our chunky Chenille yarns in these videos on hand knitting that we're posting on YouTube channel every week. Today we will be promoting our jumbo Chenille yarn. This is ivory and chocolate, and this is two colors that I will be using to make this beautiful Christmas pudding. Here you go, guys. Look at this beauty. Ready for Christmas? It's only August, but we are getting ready for Christmas. We will be making this beautiful Christmas pudding pillow with chocolate and ivory, and you will also need a little bit of leftover of green. I'm using green sparkly. We have sparkly Chenille yarn and BeCozi.com, and a little bit of a beautiful candy cane red color. It's a very Christmassy color. See, red and green. So this is the top of the pillow. This is the sides. And this is the bottom. So amazingly beautiful pillow, guys. So you will need a little bit less than one skein of ivory and less, about a half, maybe a little bit more, a skein of chocolate color. And as I said, a little bit leftover of green and candy cane red. You can find all these colors at BeCozi.com. Let's get started. Guys, let's get started. So we will be using these two colors today, as I said. It will be chocolate and ivory jumbo Chenille. And we will also use some leftover of green. I have green and sparkly leftover, and I also have candy cane red color. This color will be for the top on this beautiful Christmas pudding. So let's get started. So first of all, we will be using our chocolate color. For the chocolate color, we will find the end, and we will make a knot on the end. I always make a knot on the end to prevent an unraveling. Then cut the yarn close to the tail like that. Now place the yarn in front of you with the working yarn on the right and tail on the left. We will need to leave about 10-15 inches of the tail for connecting the bottom of the Christmas pudding. So what we are doing now, place working yarn on the top of the tail like that. You made the loop. Now insert your hand, grab working yarn and pull it out. We just made our first stitch, guys. Okay, guys, so now when your first stitch is ready, we will insert our hand inside of it, grab working yarn and pulling it out. So we now have two stitches, and we will be making a chain of stitches like that by simply pulling yarn out. So move your left hand and press on the bottom of the last stitch, insert your right hand, grab working yarn and pulling it out. So we have 3 stitches. Now continue the same way. Move your left hand, press on the bottom of the stitch, insert your right hand, grab working yarn, pull it out. So we now have 4, and we will be making a chain of 12 stitches, guys. That's how many stitches we will need for this pillow or for this Christmas pudding. Let's see how many we have. So this is our chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. So we need 12. So now we will be connecting this chain. First of all, we will flip this chain on another side, and now we will connect it into a circle like that. So now grab this tail and insert it inside this last stitch, not the top of it, but the bottom of it. Here we are. Pull it, and this way you just connected the circle. So this is our tail. It will show where the row starts, And now just place it inside like that. And now we will be knitting in a circle, guys, okay? So let's count. Yeah, we'll count when we have it. So this is our stitch. First stitch, we're skipping it here. Now we will be using this bottom side of this stitch, not the top, not the bottom, but the middle part. So we will lift it, insert our hand, grab working yarn and pull it out. Now find the next one. It's kind of like a bump in between of the stitch, not the top, not the bottom, but this bump. Insert your hand, grab working yarn, pulling it out. So we will be doing this way through the whole circle. Making our first row of 12 stitches. Make sure not to skip any stitches, because then the pattern will be messed up. So let's count. It should be 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. We have 12. So what we're doing next, guys, we are simply knitting one more row by inserting our hand, grabbing working yarn and pulling it out. This is the first, this is the second row, and we will need 6 rows all together, okay? So it's second, and now it's number 3. When we are done with number 3, we will fold this circle in 2 parts. So here we are. This is our marker, this tail. So we are now folding this in 2 parts like that, and we will keep knitting this part and then another part. So here's last stitch, so we knit the next one, don't skip any stitch. And the reason why we folded this in 2, because this way, see, we are now moving and keep knitting in circle. The reason why we folded in 2, because this way stitches are closer to each other, and we will not see the holes when the product is done, okay? So this is our number 4 row, and we will need, as I said, 6 rows. It will be approximately half of the skein. Okay, so here we are. So now let's count our rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 rows, guys. Now we will connect. I connected it already here. Let me cut it and show you how I connected it. So to connect the yarn, I'm simply making a knot, and then this knot, just simply pull it in both directions until you can feel that you cannot pull anymore, and then just simply cut like that. Okay, so now keep knitting the first stitch of ivory. So it will look a little bit weird, but don't worry about it, we will cover it in the next row. So what are we doing now? This is the first of ivory. In the next stitch we will be creating this dripping effect, okay? So every other stitch we will be creating this dripping effect. So how are we doing it? You will not be inserting your hand in this stitch, you will be inserting it in the stitch below. See, not this one, the stitch below. Grab ivory color, and this way you have now 2 stitches, brown and ivory on the top. Insert your hand inside 2, grab ivory color and pull it out, and then spread it nicely. See what we did? And now we will do the simple stitch. See the difference? And now dripping effect. Not the top, not the stitch on the top, but the bottom of it, the previous stitch. Pull ivory out. Now you have 2, and now grab working yarn and pull it through 2. So here you have 2, and make sure that you're doing it pretty close, because then see, like I had a big hole here in between of the stitches, and try to avoid it. It should be really close to each other. Okay, next one, simply knit, and then go again in the previous stitch. You now have 2, and now grab ivory and pull it through 2. So in this way we will go through all 12 stitches, guys, and this way we will have this dripping pudding effect on, like that. See, a little bit lower. Here we are. Okay, and then spread the yarn that it would look nice, and keep knitting this way until you are done with the whole row. And here we are. Here, see what we just did? And now we will be simply knitting. We also will be making 6 rows of ivory, guys. Okay, so this was our first row, and now we will have, it's our second, and we will be knitting. I will be simply knitting this way until I have 6 rows, and then I will come back and I will show you what to do next. Okay, guys, so we are done with our 6 rows of ivory. See, we have 6 rows. We can count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one is not counting, it's a dripping effect. So we have 6 and 6, it's even. And what we're doing now, we will be connecting the bottom of the pillow. So place it in front of you, bottom up, and you have this tail. Now this tail will go inside every stitch over here, not this one outside, from inside out. So insert it inside out, the next one, and then every stitch around the circle. Here we are. This way we will have a nice, and you can connect it, pull it to connect the top after every few stitches, and keep doing this way until you are done with all the stitches. Okay, so here we are. Don't miss any stitches, and then when you are done with all stitches, we will insert it inside a few that we inserted the yarn previously. This way we will be connected and nicely. Okay, so here we are. We can move the yarn to connect it. Here we are. So now this tail goes inside, and let's go inside and connect it to any stitch in the middle. This way it will be holding there nicely in the middle. I usually go underneath and then make some kind of knot. Then I will just keep it here. It will be inside, so it doesn't really matter. So now we will need some stuffing. We will place the stuffing inside the pudding, and depending how soft or how hard you want it to be, that will be the amount of the stuffing you will put inside. Okay, so here we are. So now we can finish the top. We will cut the tail about 10 inches at least. And I will make a knot to prevent unraveling. A simple knot. And now cut the tail close to the knot, like that. So now the same way as we did on the bottom, guys, we will be inserting this tail in every stitch from inside out. So simply inserting and connecting the top of our beautiful pillow, which will be our Christmas pudding. Here we are. 1, 2, 3. Here we are. Here we are, guys. See, we connected the top. It looks very nice. It looks like a little flower. So now what I usually do, I am inserting it in 1 or 2 previous stitches that I inserted it already, like that. And then I am connecting it with a knot to any stitch, like that. And then tail goes inside. Here we are. Our beautiful pudding is ready. So turn it and on the side, look how beautiful it looks, and spread the yarn that it would look really nice, and you could see those dripping stitches nicely too. See, like that. Very nice. So what are we doing now? Now we will need to make green leaves and red berries. So how I am doing it? So let's see. Place the yarn in front of you. Let's make a little knot. The same way as you usually do. Place the yarn like that. Make a knot. Insert your hand, grab working yarn, pulling it out. So we just made this first stitch. Now we will make a second stitch, guys, okay? So insert your hand, grab working yarn. Now you have 2 stitches here, okay? So what are we doing now? From 2 stitches we need to make another one, but it will be in a different, a little bit direction. So see, there are 2 stitches. Place the stitches in front of you like that, and now go on the back of this first stitch. See the back of it, and use this knot to create another additional stitch like that. Okay, so we now have 2 stitches like that and 1 in the bottom. So now simply knit these stitches, 1 and 2. See, we now have 2 stitches like that. Now knit this first one, and for the second one we will need to make extra stitch. So we'll just simply go in on the back of the stitch and making an extra stitch, increasing from 2 to 3. Now knit 3, knit 1, and then knit 2 together. And now knit 2 together again. And I have a very small piece, so we will be just simply finishing it like that. So that will be our first sleeve, and just make sure to connect it, finish it here. So this is our first sleeve, and we have 2 strings to attach it. The same as the other one, guys. Make a loop, insert your hand, grab working yarn, make a stitch, make 2. Now from 2 we'll make extra on the bottom, kind of twisting this bottom stitch and finding the back of it. See, so this stitch is laying here, we're using the back of the stitch, grab it and pull it through. We have this kind of like a butterfly. Okay, now knit this 2, 1, 2. Now knit this first, and now go on the back again and create third stitch, just increase to 3, knit first stitch, and knit these two together. Here we are. And now knit these two together. And here you actually have a little bit more, so this is last stitch. Grab working yarn and pull it through this last stitch. So this is our second leaf, guys. See how beautiful it is? Now let's make the berries. These beautiful berries for the top. Okay, so how we will do that? Same way, place the yarn in front of you, make a loop, insert your hand, grab working yarn, make first stitch. Now, make it smaller. Insert your hand and make a second stitch. We now have 2 stitches. What do we do now? Insert your hand, grab working yarn, and pull it through this second stitch. And now, we will be using this first stitch. Insert your hand, grab working yarn, and pull it through this first stitch. So you now have 2 stitches like that. Now connect these 2 stitches, grab working yarn, and pull it through these 2 stitches. And you can just keep pulling it like that. Here we are. So now cut the yarn. It will be our second one. And now we will simply make a knot to connect it and to make it into this beautiful kind of like a berry. See? Is it cute? And now we will do the same way. Make a knot, insert your hand, make a stitch. Now from 2 stitches, make another stitch. You have 2. Now this stitch on the right, insert your hand, grab working yarn, make 1 stitch. Stitch on the left, insert your hand, make a stitch, and you now have 2 stitches. And now these 2 stitches together, pull this yarn through. Here we are. And now simply make a knot to connect it and making it into this kind of like a beautiful berry. Here we are. We have 2 berries. So let's connect them. First, let's connect the leaves. What I'm doing, I'm taking this tail and I usually put it, find the stitch, go underneath, see, like that. And now the same with the other leaf, find the stitch where you will connect it, go underneath and out. And then make a knot with these 2 ends. Now these ends will go inside the pudding. Here we go. See? And now we will connect these 2 guys anywhere you want to the sides over here. So find the stitch and just make a simple knot with the green yarn and then tuck it in. Now the same on the other side, guys. Just any stitch where it's reaching, so over here, make a knot, attaching it, and then hide the knot inside. Here we are. We connected these beautiful leaves, and now we will connect these 2 beautiful berries, and we will connect them on 2 sides of on these 2 openings between the leaves. So I will just find the yarn, insert one of the ends, and then simply make a knot. Here you go. And then the tail goes again somewhere inside the pudding whenever you find the opening. Here we are. This is our first one. And let's connect the other one on the other side. Again, find the stitch to connect it to. Then make a simple knot, and here we are. And then hide the tails inside the pillow. Here you go. Look at that! Isn't it cool? It's beautiful, beautiful Christmas pudding. This is the top, and this is how the sides look. Beautiful dripping effect. So this is a really nice Christmas pudding pillow. You can find these colors, Jumbo Chenille, and this one was Chunky Chenille, Candy Cane Red and Green, and I used again Ivory and Chocolate Ivory. Ivory and Chocolate Jumbo Chenille, sorry. You can find it at BeCozi.com. Stay warm and be cozy. Hey guys, my hand knitting book is ready for you to purchase. It can be purchased at BeCozi.com and on Amazon, and also available as a Kindle. It's a perfect gift for yourself or your loved one. It's the most unique gift and book on the knitting market.